How's it going, everybody? Welcome into the light, where we're trying to shine some light on those bikers, that pass by. Again, welcome into the light. Welcome to this channel where we try to shine some light on hard to understand topics. And today I want to talk about positive thinking. I'm pretty sure everybody heard a lot about positive thinking and the way it all works, and of course how it's all connected with the law of attraction and yada 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 yada. But today I want to give you my perspective on positive thinking, on my experience with it, and how to do and how not to do the positive thinking in the right manner, I'd say. So if you are still living in this level where you separate things into negative and the positive, then this video is for you. So, what is positive thinking, of course? And of course you gotta understand first, before we even go into this understanding and definition, you gotta understand positive, negative thinking. All of this stuff is just it's just a concept. All it is just a concept. And the whole fact of separating things into negative and positive, of course, it's a different level of understanding. If you already transcended this type of duality of negative and positive, and you just living in neutrality, which is where you should be living all the time anyways, absolute neutrality, then hey, you can still watch the video. Maybe you'll look at it maybe in a different way. So anyways, this is my perspective on this. Not claiming to be an expert or anything, but it served me well over the years. And positive thinking, when I used it back in the days as a tool, in the tool of self-searching, of self-improvement, it was a really, really valuable tool to me. And let me explain you why. Because first of all, we've done some challenges on positive thinking, and challenges, of course, work awesome. They work like magic. You do like a 30-day challenge, and you just tell yourself, hey, every time I react negatively to something, I'm gonna reset my timer, and we're gonna start all over, like from scratch, from day one. And the goal is 21 days, for example, of positive thinking, of positive reaction. Of course, there's no way that somebody can tell if you're thinking positive or not, but at least you can play with the positive reactions on things. And just by doing this positive reaction thing, you will start catching yourself thinking in a certain ways. And that's a whole next step, of course, thinking positively. So first, of course, a good way of introducing yourself to this positive thinking business is to try to just not react negatively. Okay, as I've explained in one of my previous videos sometime before, negative reactions do not give you anything. They just eat up your energy, basically. You just waste it. You drop in vibration, your state drops dramatically, and you feel not energized. It's really hard. It's basically like rolling down the hill from the mountain. You have to climb again, and there's no point. So once you understand this basic thing, then you don't want to react negatively to things. And with time of observing yourself reacting or non-reacting to certain things, you start actually catching yourself before you even react, catching yourself when you actually start thinking about it. So when you have a negative thought of something, what happens first is sometimes we have fears, sometimes we have this negative feelings, whatever negative feeling, anger, jealousy, there's a bunch of those. Grief, sadness, all those negative feelings, they're born, they're negative emotions, let's say, and then they're born out of these thoughts, specific thoughts. And only obviously negative thoughts can produce negative emotion like fear, anger, and jealousy, etc., etc. So the idea here is to catch yourself in the moment of thinking, in the moment before the thought train will pull you in one direction of negativity, in one direction of expressing that negative thought physically even sometimes. So you catch yourself before that and replace that thought with something else. And by replace, I don't mean just like take this one and replace it with something else. I mean just kind of swipe it off from your head until something better comes up. And just ask yourself, why do I have this negative thought? Why can't it be positive? How can I look at it positively? Any kind of situation, even if it seems really bad, you need to understand every situation, everything in life is absolutely neutral. There's no such thing as bad or good. It's just your definition. It's how do you perceive it in the moment. How is it affecting you and what kind of emotions it's producing. Because the same situation, when it's happening, can provoke anger in one person, can provoke jealousy in another, can provoke pity in the third person, and provoke compassion in the other one, or in somebody else, and can provoke love, absolute love and bliss. The same situation. How is that possible? It's just your perception. That's all it is. It's just your perception of the situation. So it's how you think about it. It's how you explain and define that situation to yourself inside your brain, inside your mind. This is how you're going to react. This is what kind of feelings will you feel after the situation is happening. So, what do you need to do to alleviate this dependency on expressing and thinking negatively? You need to start replacing this habit of thinking negatively into a habit of thinking positively. And it's just a habit, that's all it is. We are just a bunch of habits. You know, some people will say, oh, he's a really negative person, or he's a really positive person. What do you mean by that exactly when you say that? You ever thought about it? Of course we mean by the way they express themselves, and therefore by the way they think. Because obviously positive people cannot just express themselves negatively all the time. There must be thinking in some kind of different way than you do. That's why they're so positive. That's why they seem so happy all the time. They react differently to different situations. It's just a habit. You need to replace this habit of negatively thinking of something. Something's happening and you tend to like, oh, this is going to negatively affect me. Instead, you just say, no, thank you, swipe. And just like, how do I see this situation in a positive manner? Like, how can it positively unfold maybe for me? What can I learn from it even? Because there's always something to learn. Always. Absolutely always. Nothing just happening for you if you cannot learn from it. Once you learn something, it's never going to happen for you anymore because there's nothing else to learn. Life is all about learning something. It's showing you something. It's about experience. When you experience something, when you enjoy it, when you get something out of it, it can still happen. Once you're done with it, that's it. It's not in your life anymore. You don't need it anymore. It's redundant. The idea here is to just enjoy this positive experiences only, something new all the time. So you need to stop thinking about it negatively and replace them with a positive habit. Just look at them in a positive way. What can they bring you? What kind of new experience they can take you in? What can they teach you? What can they show you? What kind of good feelings they can bring you in the long run? Stop thinking in terms of like right now it's bad. You just don't understand it yet. Just acknowledge to yourself that right now it might seem bad because I don't really understand the whole consequence. Like, where is it heading? Like, what's gonna turn out of it? Like, where am I gonna end up because of this situation? How is it going to affect my life in the long in the long run, because it will always affect your life in the long run in a good way, in a positive way. You will always become better. You know, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? Why did they come up with this? Because think about all those negative situations back in the day. You become who you are because of those things. And you can change that also in the future. Because of your actions right now, you can change your future. So choose the right actions. Choose to see things in a different manner. Think about positive things. How can you look at the situation in a positive manner? In every situation when it comes up, if you look at it from the positive side, how is it going to affect your life in a positive manner? What is it going to bring? What's it going to teach you? How are you going to benefit with it? Then you will start gradually accepting every single situation in a completely different manner. You will start seeing the world in a different manner. You will start actually welcoming the world. You will start accepting the world. Any situation that happens, all the people that show up in your life, you will start accepting them. You're going to be like, this, yes, come more. I want more. This is going to be interesting. I don't care if it's good or bad like it was before. Now it's all just experience. Now it's all just interesting. Now it's all something new. Remember, like when you were a kid, you didn't know what's good or bad. Nobody told you yet. Your mom didn't tell you, like, go there or don't go there. She didn't yet. You were just running around, eating, you would eat certain things that you're not supposed to eat, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you learn by the experience itself. So it's just like that. What happened? What's changed over the years? You get accustomed to thinking in the bad way. You get accustomed to just expecting the worst. What if? And you living in a state of fear because of this way of thinking. Instead, you can just be accepting and looking forward to life, looking forward to waking up every morning and thinking, hey, what's going to happen today? How my life is going to become better, more expanded, more free. How is it going to become more interesting, challenging, or something? It's just a matter of looking at it. And that's what positive thinking does. Whenever you think about things positively, gradually negative things just don't affect you anymore because you stop perceiving things as negative. In the long run, everything becomes basically positive. Anywhere you look, it's all positive. It's benefiting you. It's either beautiful, it's either teaching you something, it's either you don't understand it yet, but it will get you somewhere. If you look at things in this way, your life changes, completely changes. That's it. So it is a tool. It is a tool, and it's a conscious tool that you can consciously use today to improve your life. What I want to note here also is sometimes I've noticed that people make certain mistakes with this game of positivity. And I want to mention it because I've seen it so many times, and it's not a nice thing when it happens to people, when they start ignoring life because they start being blind. I want you to be really, really careful with not confusing these two things, thinking positively and being blind and oblivious and ignorant to reality. Because this is what's happening. Life will always try to teach you something. It tries to teach you a lesson, let's say. It puts you in a certain situation where you need to learn certain lessons. And you say, you know what? No, my life is beautiful and I'm thinking only positive. And you don't even look there whatsoever. You just ignore it completely. So life is like, okay, dude, like knock, knock, hello. You need to learn this lesson, so it brings you a bigger lesson. So this time you will pay attention, and you still like, no, I'm playing this game of positive thinking. I don't care about these things. I'm just gonna look at the positive things and just turn around and like completely ignore it. And then you're broke. And then you're a bum. You're living in the street, and it's like, it's like this difference between, hey, you gotta pay your bills. And you're like, no, bills are negative. I'm gonna look at the positive things. only. I'm not gonna look at the bills, and oh, I don't want to work. Work it's not positive. I'm just gonna look somewhere else, and I'm just gonna sit on my butt and just look at the stars because stars are positive. Come on. This is exactly the mistake that a lot of people make with this positive thinking. Positive thinking is not ignoring reality. It's not ignoring life. Positive thinking is turning what it gives you into positive. It's just the manner of thinking about it. You don't ignore it. You don't turn away from anything. You accept everything. Absolutely everything. Whatever happens when you have to pay bills or you get a bad situation, right? Something happens. It's a difficult situation. You need to pay a lot of money. You get in this, your kid got sick or something like this, or your work's not working out. You get laid off or something, and it's a hard time. You don't just turn around from it and just say, "Oh, I'm so positive," and I just ignore it. No, because it turns out to be unprocessed anger, and basically you suppress it. You suppress your emotions, and nothing good comes out of it, ever. So all you gotta do is you need to start thinking positively of everything what's happening. So if you get laid off, understand that it might be positive for you because maybe it's time for you to move on. Maybe life has something better for you. Trust life. Think about it in a positive way. Be like, yes, awesome, I got fired. Okay, so it is a hard situation. I totally acknowledge it. It is a hard thing to do for me. It's going to be a hard time, but I'm positive that I can make it work. I'll make something good out of it because it is your choice of how to make good out of something. Because it's all about perspective. It's your perspective. So you promise yourself you're going to make good out of the situation, whatever it is. Even if it's sickness, even if it's something, you got sick and you cannot work, think of it as a positive thing. Hey, at least I can learn something while I'm home, or I can get rest that I didn't get for the last 4 years that I've been working my ass off. And now I can finally rest and my body needs to reboot finally. Just start thinking of everything as a positive. Do not ignore life. Do not ignore things, and don't play that mental game of positive and negative. Okay? Just start accepting everything. And your life is going to change in no time, honestly. But remember, no rushing things. No rushing. Because everything takes time. This habits of thinking negatively, of fearing things, and all this expressing negative feelings and emotions towards other people, all that stuff, it's already ingrained in you to a certain level. In some people more and some people are less, but still, we already have it. Like, I know so many kids, they're teens, but they're already cultured in such a way that they're already reacting with a lot of negativity. They're already expressing their negative emotions because they've been taught to express them. They don't understand the difference. And with more time, of course, it becomes more ingrained, and your reality will start reflecting that stuff because you are living in that world of your own thoughts. You are living in your head. So if you're always thinking negative thoughts about everything, oh well, your life is miserable. I feel bad for you, but believe me, you can change it right now. You can start changing it. So make it your New Year resolution or something, and just start changing that habit to positive thinking. Just try it as a tool. Do it as a challenge. If you have a partner, if there's two of you, if you're a couple, if you're like a small family, do it as a couple. Do it as a 2-3 people, because it's going to be much easier. There's a sense of responsibility on top of this thing, and you can kind of be responsible in front of each other and pull yourself up and just keep up with this challenge. Because believe me, when you are being positive like for 15-20 days and you need to do the challenge for like 21, you're really conscious, you're really watching it, you're really trying not to react to things, and it changes everything. It really changes everything. This level of awareness itself, it's priceless. It's priceless, literally. don't rush things. Just take it easy and do small challenges. If you roll back, it's okay, but start building it back up. Building it back up, and just try to ignore people who are trying to tell you, hey, be realistic, this is bad. Nothing is inherently bad. Remember that. It's your choice how you perceive it. Do not ignore it, but you can define it as good or bad. This is your power. Take this power back and start thinking positively. Have a good week. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.